Coming up, President Akufo-Addo announces $10 million to promote entrepreneurship and innovation.
Court rejects application for an injunction by 11 LLB students over entrance exams.
On the foreign front, Air Zimbabwe lays off half of its workforce amid financial woes.
And in sports, Premier League board postpones clash between Asante Kotoko and Accra Hearts of Oak indefinitely.
Good evening, you're most welcome to the studios of GBC24 and GTV. My name is Micheline Taka.
And my name is Akpene Avo Ajaja. Thank you so much for joining us for News Hour. In the details, President Akufo-Addo has announced $10 million seed money to promote and support entrepreneurship and innovation.
Government set up the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Plan to provide support for startups and small businesses. Launching the program, President Akufo-Addo said his priority is job creation.
Entrepreneurship and innovation are key to development of nations and societies. The Asian giants' concentration on these areas have resulted in the advancement they are currently experiencing. The Ghana government believes it cannot shoulder the problem of unemployment alone, hence the need to create a favorable environment to position the private sector to play a meaningful role in that process. The launch of the National Entrepreneurship and Innovations Plan NEIP by the Ministry of Business Development is to place emphasis on entrepreneurship and innovation through the private sector. The plan is expected to provide tax incentives, create subsidized workspaces for young entrepreneurs, offer small business grants, and provide a ready market for product, among others. Government is of the view that within a considerable period of time, a great number of jobs will be available for the teeming Ghanaian unemployed youth through their own innovations. The Minister for Business Development, Mr. Ibrahim Mohammed Awal, said government will continue to create the right business environment for businesses to flourish.
We need to work together and ensure that inflation rates, which was 15%, now 12.1%, would even go to 10% by the close of the year. We need to join hands as private sector and private sector to make sure that we give the young people hope. We need to join hands to ensure that Ghana becomes a real business nation and make sure that we achieve the present goal of making Ghana the most business-friendly environment in Africa.
The president, Nana Akufo-Addo, was optimistic. Creation of entrepreneurial environment will oil the wheels of development.
The plan will enable new businesses to emerge and give them the space to grow, to receive financing and business development services, to secure markets during the critical formative years, and to tap into a wide supply chain and network during their growth years, helping to create jobs at a widely distributed national level. Despite the severe constraints of our public finances, which have resulted from years of mismanagement and corruption, government has contributed $10 million as seed money for the plan. It is the intention that this seed money should be leveraged to raise money from private sources and public organizations to the tune of $100 million to fund its program.
He charged the youth to take advantage of the plan and create jobs for themselves and others.
I'm confident that this plan will be made to work to provide young people with what it promises. Young people who take the risk of entrepreneurship will find that they have support through the difficult early stages. I'm passionate about the plan working. I'm investing a lot in it, and I have confidence in the Minister for Business Development, Ibrahim Awal Mohammed, who has devised the plan and will be in charge of seeing it to fruition.
The Ministry of Business Development intends to roll out more of such programs in the coming months.
An Accra High Court has rejected the application for an injunction by 11 persons over the entrance exams organized by the General Legal Council. The application seeks to halt the pending exams on Friday, the 14th of July, 2017. According to the presiding judge, Justice Anthony Yeboah, the plaintiff failed to demonstrate that they would suffer irreparable damage which could not be compensated for if they write the exams. A Supreme Court ruling on the 22nd of June 2017 said it is unconstitutional for the General Legal Counsel to make it mandatory for LLB holders to write entry examinations as well as interview before they are admitted to pursue their professional careers in law. A 7-member panel of the court, headed by Justice Jones Doche, reached the unanimous decision in an application brought to it by US-based law professor Kweku Ansasari. Per the ruling, a group known as Concerned LLB Graduates applied for an interlocutory injunction to stop the upcoming entrance examination and interview session for potential students seeking enrollment into the Ghana Law School. According to Justice Anthony Yeboah, the 6 months duration given to the GLC to carry out the orders of the Apex Court must hold. Justice Yeboah said the case is a human rights issue which must be addressed urgently, and is not sure that the plaintiff had painted any picture of the hardship they could suffer. Counsel for the plaintiff, Professor Kweku Ansasari, argued that the issue of the universities having capacity to accommodate the law graduates is not a problem, since some of the public universities have more capacity.
So long as we don't expand the facilities, we'll continue to infringe upon the fundamental human rights of prospective law graduates, and that is not, good for the nation.
One of the applicants, Mr. Kenny Donko Ado, was disappointed at the outcome.
It is a sad day today. But the law is supreme. The judge, because we have confidence in the court, reason we ran to the court. And this is what the court has given us. We are actually traumatized as I speak to you now. But we'll put ourselves together. We are now going to meet our lawyers, and then they actually will guide us as to what to do.
Lawyer for the defendant, which is the General Legal Counsel, told the court the plaintiff had no case not to write the examination tomorrow, since the Supreme Court gave the GLC 6 months to put its house in order.
An Accra District Court has adjourned to 27 July the murder trial of the late Member of Parliament, Mr. Joseph Boakye Dankwa Eidu's killers. Magistrate Aret Nsimo, who presided over the case, adjourned it after a state prosecutor, Detective Inspector Mr. Simon Apiosorum, prayed the court for adjournment. According to him, investigations are still ongoing. 2 suspects, Daniel Esiedu and Vincent Bonsu, are on trial for the murder of the former Ebuakwa North MP, who was stabbed to death at his residence in Accra on the 9th of February 2016. The 2 are on trial for murder and abetment of murder.
Let's move to Parliament now, where the repatriation of illegal Ghanaian migrants from the U.S., abuse of Ghanaian domestic workers in the Gulf states, and the death of some Ghanaians in the Sahara Desert in northern Niger dominated the discourse of Parliament today.
On the deportation of illegal Ghanaian migrants from the U.S., the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Madam Shirley Ayoko-Botche, said her outfit is not in the known that 7,000 Ghanaians are going to be deported.
Rather, the mission was informed that 180 Ghanaians were under deportation orders, while an additional 185 cases were at various stages of processing pending final deportation orders. Meanwhile, the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is planning to repatriate another batch of Ghanaian nationals from the U.S. to Ghana on a chartered flight in due course. The Ghana mission is yet to be provided with details of the number of deportees to be repatriated to Ghana.
Those already deported to retrieve their belongings.
So far, nothing of the sort is being done because they have not made a request to us to facilitate that for them.
If there are any arrangements to assist them with legal aid.
Due to financial constraints, we are not able to provide that service.
Touching on the abuse of Ghanaian migrant workers in the Gulf state, the minister said the Ghana embassy in Riyadh, charged with oversight responsibility of the Gulf state, is challenged in identifying places where Ghanaians are facing such abuses.
It is physically impossible for the embassy to identify the places where all the Ghanaians suffering abuses may reside. It often finds itself handicapped by the fact that most of the employment contracts under which Ghanaian nationals are engaged are made privately, and the embassy is not privy to their terms. Following the recent granting by Saudi Arabia of a 3-month amnesty for illegal immigrants, which has now been extended to 24th of July 2017, the Riyadh mission has already processed over 800 Ghanaians for departure. In order to discourage people from violating the amnesty and risking arrest, the mission is making efforts through social and electronic media to propagate the information in Ghana and Saudi Arabia. The Ghana mission in Riyadh and the Consulate General in Jeddah have, in this regard, subsidized the cost of processing of travel certificates from Saudi Riyadh 200 to Saudi Riyadh 50 to enable our compatriots to take advantage of the offer and leave the country without paying penalties for overstaying.
On June 1st, 2017, the BBC aired a story on the death of some 44 Ghanaians and Nigerians while crossing the Sahara Desert. The Member of Parliament of North Tongue, Mr. Samuel Okudzeto Blakwa, sought to know what the ministry is doing to retrieve the bodies. Madam Ayoko Boche said the Ghana mission in Ouagadougou had not received any formal notification on the matter. Neither had the Red Cross officials in Niger been able to confirm the issue to the embassy. She said her ministry will keep monitoring the situation and would appraise the House on the development of the matter.
Still in Parliament, Mr. Sidney Casely-Hayford, a financial analyst, may be summoned before the Privileges Committee of Parliament for allegedly making derogatory remarks against the legislators.
According to the Member of Parliament for Kumbugu, Mr. Ras Mubarak, the comment was made at a seminar on July 8, 2017 on the theme, The Economic and Political Rise of Africa, where Mr. Sidney Casely-Hayford was a guest speaker. The alleged comments were published online by Ghana Web, where he further said the lawmakers capitalize on their positions to exploit the country's resources.
They don't read the papers that are given. They don't think through what the challenges are. And the first thing, according to him, the first thing I will do if I had the opportunity is to break down Parliament. This Speaker is a serious statement. His comments are downright offensive. They are outrightly benighted and can be coming from a man who seems discombobulated from the world he inhabits. He's unjustifiably inciting people against members of Parliament. And if his comments are allowed to pass, it will set a very bad precedent and create more room for people to impugn the reputation of members of this House. So, Mr. Speaker, I wish therefore to call on this Honourable House to invite the gentleman to appear before the House to answer contempt charges.
I think if that is the nature of what the man said, then certainly it cannot be good. It would amount to inflicting a mortal wound on the image of Parliament, given the fact that we have a few weeks ahead of us before the House adjourns. It will be then important for leadership to meet as early as possible on that matter and appropriately.
The first Deputy Speaker, Joseph Osei-Owusu, referred the matter to the leadership of the House to report back to the House for necessary action.
Let's go to the Ashanti region now, and Osei Senior High School in Kumasi, popularly called UKES, is observing its 80th anniversary. The school, which has produced notable personalities in national life, also produced many sporting stars for Ghana.
Established in 1937 by the late J.T. Robert, who was taken over by the Ministry of Education, but was still under the Berima Kwame Chirikwie in his honor. Shortly after the renaming was exponential growth in population. Thus, a new site was acquired at Old Tafo. Kes has the Ya Nyakwa in the school's land. The president, by an executive instrument, compulsorily students of the school who are using the special occasion fence wall. Mrs. Mary,
100 and very difficult.
The medical director at the Tema General Hospital, Dr. Kwabena Opoku-Edusei, who is also the president of the Osei-Chirikwie
Career Counseling and Guidance. The students need it.
The news editor of Ghana Television, Mr. Napoleon Atokito. Among the top sports personalities produced by Okes are former national 400 meters athlete Grace Ofori, footballers John Mensah, Sule Muntari, Malam Yaya, Kenneth Sapon, Frank Amankwa, and Ibrahim Tanko, who is currently the deputy coach of the Black Stars.
Kit examination BEC performance in the Karagat district of the northern region is very low. The performance pass rate of aggregate 6 to 30 for the year 2014 stood at about 10%, and that of 2015 stood at about 8%. The district was therefore ranked 18th out of the 26 districts in the 2015, but ranked 200th in the national ranking in 2016. In this feature, GBC24 takes a look at some of the factors responsible for the poor performance of Karagat district.
The Karagat district has a population of more than 77,000 according to a 2000 population and housing census. This represents 3.1% of the northern region's total population. Females constitute the majority 52% of Karagat population. The Karagat district was ranked 207th in 2016, according to the UNICEF and CDD reports in terms of development. According to statistics, only 22% of the district's population can read and write in the official language, English. It was based on this reason that an NGO conducted a research into the relatively low education in the area. The findings of the survey revealed that many of the pupils drop out at the primary level and others at the senior high school level. The Ghana Education Service GES of the Karagat district suggests that the school dropout rate is 0.61 for 2016-2017 academic year. This represents an increase from 0.5% in 2014-2015. The paramount chief of Karagat traditional area, Karagana Mahama Adam, said, parents must be responsible and make sure that their children go to school till completion. He said, because of some traditional imperatives, it is sometimes difficult to force a child to school. The headmaster of the Shamsia English Arabic Junior High School, Osman Muhammad Adam, explained to GTV why the school dropout in Karagat is very high.
We don't have books. There are no books, textbooks. The head only provided few for teachers. But in fact, the children, when it comes to teaching comprehension, is a big problem. And also, we don't have water in the school, and as well as toilet facilities. We don't have. So the children have been going into the bush to eat anytime the need arises.
A Form 2 female pupil of the school, Hamdia Abdullahi, spoke about teenage pregnancy at the school.
Our mothers put pressure on us. They may give birth to you and someone. So then that person will give birth. Your mother say, why don't you go and give birth? Actually, I want a grandchild. Then that's why you want to give birth so that you make your mother happy. So you'll be going around on boys doing whatever that you don't think. Or your friend may give her mother or her father something. Then they'll be complaining. Why is it that this person give his or her mother this and you didn't give us? Meanwhile, they don't know that if we go to school, we give them more than that. But they don't know because of lack of education of our parents.
Another school, the Nuru Islamic JHS in Karagat, has inadequate classrooms for effective teaching and learning.
This is also one of our structures, and that one was provided by the PTA. Unfortunately, we have no furniture there again, and the nature of it too is also, this time around we are considering as something that will be dangerous for children to be living there or the students to be there. So it's more or less we are leaving it's abandoned for now.
The director in charge of supervision at the Karaga GES, Mr. Labe Kombian, explains the peculiar circumstances of Karaga district when it comes to education.
Most of the schools, the teachers are there and the children were not there. And when you ask, it is that they have been taken to farms. So when it comes to planting and harvesting, almost every year the children are taken out of the classroom, and so it affects teaching and learning.
An assistant director at the Karaga District Assembly, Suleiman Atanko, said the assembly is working around the clock to fix the problem.
We rally with the traditional authority because they have, they exhibit more power in the district. When we rally with them, I think what we want to achieve is that we involve all stakeholders to ensure that the education that we needed, the quality education that we needed in the district will come into fruitful.
District capital of the Nadoli Kalio district. It is located in the upper west region of the country. GBC24 team has been there and gives a close look at the town.
The Nadoli Kalio district is located in the heart of the upper west region of the country. The district shares boundaries with Jirapa district to the north, to the south with Wa West, to the east with the Fiama Busie Isa district, and to the west with Ivory Coast. Nadoli is the district capital of the Nadoli Kalio district. Despite its urban settings, Nadoli is in many ways still an agricultural community, and the majority of the people make a good portion of their living in small-scale farming. The town of Nadoli pays host to a lot of amenities, from primary schools, secondary school, training college, police station, fire service, to district assembly, hospital and post office, FM station, and many more. Other well-known cities around Nadoli are Tangisie, which has the most popular market in the district, and Chirpong. Tangisie simply means the side of the hill. Our team later visited the popular Tangisie market. This is Tangisie market. The popular thing you can get on the market are farming equipment, and the main crops here are corn, millet, dried okra, beans, and granules.
Your wife is pulling you. You are going there.
We also saw dried tomatoes. Salamatu Masuudu.
Omo chocho eno yidiewo esien no mode dry.
These are chopped dried tomatoes. You just put them in water and it is ready for use.
A bedtime na obey duane na ye. Now the new ebe en toast. Ebe to say tomatoes concordian.
The local drink, pitou, is one of the commonest things you find on the market. These women were relaxing with their pitou after a hard day's work. Traders from Burkina Faso also come to Tangisie markets to trade.
It's still News Hour live on GBC24 and GTV. Still to come in this package. Ghana Union of Traders, GUTA, calls on government not to suspend the implementation of the 3% VAT flat rate scheme.
Good evening. My name is Marius Ogbete with the Business News Live on GBC24. The Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, has called on government to carry through with the implementation of the 3% VAT flat rate scheme, which replaced the 17.5%. The acting president of GUTA, Mr. Joseph Obeng, said the 3% VAT flat rate will widen the tax net and simplify tax computation for traders.
During the 2017 financial statement to Parliament, the Minister for Finance, Mr. Ken Oforiatta, announced the introduction of the 3% VAT flat rate to replace the 17.5% VAT scheme for traders. After several consultations with stakeholders, the implementation of the 3% VAT flat rate took off on 1st July 2017. However, the implementation of the flat rate has received some reservations from manufacturers, importers and exporters associations, saying the 3% VAT rate will lead to high cost of production. They are therefore calling on the government to suspend the 3% VAT flat rate scheme. However, the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, say the 3% VAT flat rate will rather simplify tax computation and will encourage compliance among traders.
We are of the opinion that the VFRS closes certain loopholes that could be exploited. The claiming of VAT refunds after input VAT has been included in price build-up is effectively dealt with under the new scheme. This therefore ensures that all businesses will compete fairly, giving no unfair advantage to wrongdoers. To our understanding, this is just a matter of calculations, and if done right, will not result in any changes in price as we are being led to believe. We have done this system for almost a decade, if not more, and it never resulted in any price increases.
The Vice President of the Okaishi Traders Association, Mr. Charles Chan, said the new 3% flat rate will reduce the price of goods, but the government must turn its attention to duties at the ports.
Duty has really shot up. In the past, there are sometimes the same goods you bring 40-footer, you pay $20,000 and 20,000 Ghana cedis. Now you are paying 30, 35, 40. So that is and even higher. So how do you build your costs? It has got nothing to do with the 3%. Shipping companies now do not even want to give us free demurrage time. Exchange rate, we all know what the situation is. And those are the factors that we use in calculating prices. So if prices is going up, it is not going up because of the 3%.
The implementation of the 3% flat rate is 2 weeks old, and the executives of GUTA say they will meet with the Ghana Revenue Authority and Finance Ministry to correct any challenges that comes with the implementation process.
We talk banking because the Universal Merchant Bank is 45 years. The chief executive of the bank, Mr. John Ewia, said 45 years of the bank's existence is an assurance that the bank is poised to give good returns on shareholders' investment and churn out innovative products to give customers value for their money.
Universal Merchant Bank, formerly Merchant Bank Ghana, was established in 1972. The company since then has been on the forefront of supporting major corporate entities and SMEs across the country. At the launch of the 45th anniversary of the bank, the chief executive of the bank, Mr. John Ewia, said the interest of customers will be high on the radar of management and will come out with products that will meet their needs.
45 years in the life of every person or entity is a milestone that is worth celebrating. We intend to celebrate with our customers, with our staff, with the general public, and with, as a corporate citizen, also with our environment and the places where we do our business. As part of our activities, we have put, as we have done always, our customers at the forefront of all the activities that we are going to embark on to commemorate this momentous celebration.
He added that the setting up of a China desk by the bank has led to a number of Chinese investors showing up interest to support Ghana's industrialization drive.
The desk is doing well. We've now had a lot of Chinese businesses working with us. Myself, last few weeks, I was in China where I interacted with some of our customers and their parent companies back in Beijing. And I'm happy to report that that strategy is very well on track.
The itinerary for the 45th anniversary celebrations include launching of new products, dinner night, and appreciation of staff.
Let's go to the interbank market where the dollar is trading at 4 cedis 35 pesos with the pound pegged at 5 cedis 59 pesos. The euro is going for 4 cedis 97 pesos. We also update you on latest prices of major commodities on the international market.
You welcome back. This is the health segment. Over 200 advanced emergency medical technicians from the National Ambulance Service at Ofenso North District of the Ashanti region have graduated from a 2-year training course on emergencies. They will be providing emergency first aid and advanced trauma life support to people who need their services.
The ambulance service over the years has increased from 7 to 133 with control rooms across the country. Though the service has a number of challenges, its management has been implementing innovative ways, including the capacity building of personnel to fight emergencies. The second batch of advanced emergency medical trainees for the year were taken through cannulization and intravenous fluid administration, synchronized cardioversion, endotracheal intubation, and mass among others. The graduates exhibited their prowess through a simulation exercise of a major road traffic accident. 5 of them, including a female, were given awards for their outstanding performance. The chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health, Mr. Collins Intim, gave the assurance that the committee will collaborate with the Ministry of Health to speed up process to ensure that the National Ambulance Service becomes fully operational as an agency under the ministry.
I want to assure you that the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health is ever ready to receive the bill for the necessary deliberations and finally laid before Parliament for its passage into an act.
The Deputy Minister for Health, Madam Tina Mensam, stressed that morbidities and mortalities caused by ailments could be significantly reduced through an efficient emergency medical service system.
The government is committed to resourcing the National Ambulance Service to improve on its emergency response capabilities throughout Ghana in view of reducing medical emergency death, injuries, and permanent long-term disability.
The National Ambulance Service was established in 2014 following the May 9 Accra Sports Stadium disaster. It was charged to provide pre-medical care to the sick and injured, as well as provide professional handling of such victims to health care facilities.
The Gambia could become the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to eliminate malaria. According to the National Malaria Control Program, the prevalence of the malaria parasite in children under 5 has plunged to 0.2%.
The total number of new malaria cases in the country has fallen by about 40% in that time to 155,450 last year, down from 262,000 in 2011. Aside from the usual control measures such as anti-malarial drugs, insecticide-treated bed nets and indoor spraying, Gambia has successfully used technology to tackle malaria. Internet service providers have boosted bandwidth in remote areas, meaning they could collect real-time data and could make decisions on the fly. Gambia is aiming to achieve the milestone of having no malaria cases by 2020.
Good evening, let's talk sports. I'm Theophilus Sampa, going straight to Kumasi for an update on the saga that happened to Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and some players of Asante Kotoko Football Club who were involved in an accident last night have been discharged from the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital. They are Kwao, Eric Donko, Sadiq Adams, Frank Safu, Jane Fee, and Awudu Nafiu. The team manager, Godwin Ablodi, and some other officials who were on board have also been discharged. However, coach Steve Polak, Olenu Ashite, and driver Nana Brichi are still on admission at the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital. The Porcupine Warriors en route Kumasi from Nkoko after a 1-0 defeat to Inter Allies ran into a Kia truck which was parked in the middle of the road. The equipment officer of the team, Mr. Thomas Kufiasari, lost his life. The Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council, together with the Youth and Sports Committee of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, have donated an amount of 5,000 Ghana cedis each to the team. The Regional Coordinating Council have also promised to foot the hospital bills. Still staying on this development, and the Premier League Board, PLB, has indefinitely postponed the super clash between Asante Kotoko and Accra Hearts of Oak. This follows the Porcupine Warriors' involvement in a fatal accident at Nkoko in the Eastern region. The accident claimed the life of the assistant equipment officer of the team, Mr. Kufiasari.
The team was returning to their Kumasi base after a midweek game against Inter Allies in Accra when the team bus rammed into a stationary truck. The incident claimed a life and injured most of the players and technical handlers. In light of this, the Premier League Board, PLB, has postponed the March Day 23 Premier League fixture between Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Accra Hearts of Oak, earlier scheduled for Sunday, July 16 at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi. Meanwhile, the PLB has directed all club officials and players to wear red and black armbands for the 7 March Day 23 encounters, which will go ahead as scheduled, except that the matches have been moved to Sunday instead of the earlier announced Saturday. The only Saturday match will be the televised game between Bechem United and Bolga All Stars. The PLB has further directed that a minute's silence be observed in honor of the departed official of Kotoko before all March Day 23 Premier League matches.
Let's go to England and talk tennis now, where an elbow injury forced world number 4 Novak Djokovic to retire from the last 8 of Wimbledon championships against Thomas Berdych on Wednesday. The Serb has now gone 5 consecutive game slam tournaments without a title after winning 6 of the previous 8. Mira Roger Federer maintained his bid for a record 8th Wimbledon title as he moved into the last 4 with a 6-4. 6-2, 7-6 win over Milos Raonic. So that's all for sports. Entertainment is next.
Welcome back to the news. This is the arts and entertainment side of the news. Terry Asari Wama is known in the music circles as Dada Hafko. After breaking away from the group Mframa, Dada Hafko is set to release his debut album. Dada Hafko tells us what inspired his new song. He was our guest on our showbiz segment earlier.
Idianko is a chief phrase.
Okay.
You know, but it's typical. So most of the youth of today, the new generation, they find it difficult to understand. But what it means is that Bidi Anko is she. You know, we're getting stuck to something.
Okay.
If you like something and getting stuck to it. For example, if your boyfriend, you like your boyfriend because you're stuck to him.
Okay.
And he's stuck to you as well.
Okay.
Your mom is stuck to your dad because your dad has made her Bidianko. Basically,
okay.
That's what the song is about. And it featured Parkwesi, now formerly of Double.
Yes.
You know, shout outs to Parkwesi because, you know, when the song came out and the part that he also played, and he's also championing the high life thing. So,
okay, yeah.
you know, it could have, you know, gelled properly
okay.
and it worked.
Okay.
Me and Parkwesi had been talking about doing a song together for so long.
Okay.
And so it was like the opportunity presented itself. You know, because when I got the beat and I was like, even early in the morning, I was not even up from bed yet. So when the beat was sent to me, I listened to it and I was like, no, I need to finish this before I get up.
Okay.
You know, so I just scripted down and then I called him. He was like, Charlie, I'm ready. So we just got to the studio and then we laid it.
And that was entertainment brought to you by kindness of Cowbell. We go for the weather updates now.
That's all for the weather update. See you tomorrow.
That's all for the news as well. Thanks so much for joining us. News tonight is at 10.